Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we'll delve into a crucial topic for comprehending relationships, identifying the indicators that a woman might be emotionally over her relationship with you. If her behavior has changed and you're confused, watch this video. Stay tuned for 6 clear signs to look out for, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button for daily videos and relationship insights. The value of communication drops sharply when it comes to self-improvement and more. Communication is the most important part of any connection. It's how people connect, share their needs, and grow closer. Healthy communication means being open, honest, and ready to share both thoughts and feelings. When both partners talk to each other, it strengthens their relationship and builds trust. But for many women, when communication starts to drop, it can be a sign of deeper problems. An emotional link and communication go hand in hand. If she starts to pull away, it's often clear from the way she acts around you that your communication is getting worse. Just a few texts and calls. Initially, a woman interested in the relationship will reach out often, eager to share her day's thoughts or just check in on you. You may exchange flirty texts or have long conversations about anything and everything. However, if she's emotionally withdrawing, you may notice a drop in frequency. She may stop initiating contact as often. Instead of daily texts, it may drop to a few messages a week. And when she does talk, her replies may be one-word answers or lack detail instead of saying, "Have a great day." Anna and I got together and talked about our plans for the weekend. She may respond well, but her response times could be lengthy. If she used to respond quickly but now takes hours or even days to respond, it's a warning sign. This delay usually means that she's not putting the relationship first in her life. B. Lack of enthusiasm. When someone is in a relationship, their enthusiasm often shows in the way they talk to you. They ask questions, get excited about the future, and get deeply involved in conversations. On the other hand, when emotional detachment occurs, you may notice a flat tone in their voice and conversations that feel more like tasks than enjoyable moments. When a question is posed, she may respond with a flat tone that lacks any emotion or energy. Staying away from topics. If she used to enjoy discussing her interests or dreams with you, she may have stopped doing so, indicating a lack of interest in deepening the relationship. Less interest. If you discuss something that brings you joy and she doesn't respond strongly or at all, it indicates that she's not as emotionally invested in your life as she once was. Avoid talks that matter. If both people in the relationship are willing to have deep talks, talking about feelings, goals, and problems is beneficial for the relationship. It helps you connect more deeply, but if she starts to pull away, she might stop talking. If you try to talk about feelings or the future, she might get angry or change the subject, which means she doesn't want to talk about these things anymore. Joke around instead of talking about important things. She may use humor or sarcasm to avoid deeper conversations, potentially indicating a reluctance to confront her feelings. I am not interested in how relationships work. When a woman is mentally stable, she may refrain from discussing relationship issues to avoid conflict. What causes this drop in communication? Figuring out why communication drops can help you understand how the relationship works better. Fear of confrontation. She may feel trapped because she thinks talking about her feelings will lead to conflict or confrontation. Instead of dealing with the problem, she chooses to distance herself. Disappointment or resentment. If she is disappointed or frustrated about some parts of the relationship, she may pull away to avoid talking about her feelings or making things worse. Seeking independence. A woman may feel the need to reclaim her independence, which can make her pull away from communication in order to express her individuality outside of the relationship. This could potentially result in a decline in communication. If you see these signs, think about these steps. Start a chat by introducing yourself and telling her what you've noticed. Use emotional language to express your feelings, such as, "I've noticed that we haven't been talking as much lately and it worries me." Make a safe place. Encourage open communication by providing a safe space where she can express her thoughts without fear of judgment. Secondly, there are instances when plans to collaborate begin to unravel. What are the shared plans for? When partners envision a future together, it shows that they want to grow together and make memories. Plans show that you are committed and invested in the relationship. Planning trips, going on outings, and even talking about long-term goals are all important parts of keeping a relationship healthy. As relationships change, it's normal for partners to reevaluate their wants and needs. But if one partner stops making plans, it could mean they don't care about the relationship emotionally. This could mean that plans are falling apart. Lack of interest in future events. When someone is emotionally present, they actively plan future events, look forward to shared experiences, and talk about how excited they are to spend time with you. On the other hand, if plans are fading, you might notice that she isn't interested in planning anymore. She may stop suggesting events or trips and show little interest in talking about upcoming dates. She may no longer be interested in suggesting events, trips, or even just getting together for a drink. If you talk about plans for the future, change the way you talk. Her answers may lack passion, which could mean she doesn't think these plans are important or fun. No fees for early refunds. If she stops or changes plans a lot at the last minute, it could mean she's not fully committed to keeping the relationship going. B. When you prioritize other people over yourself in tasks, it can be emotionally draining. A woman feels cut off. She might begin to focus on other aspects of her life, which could lead to significant changes in her relationship. Changes in dynamics and goals. If she begins prioritizing her friends' work or solo activities over your time, it could indicate a mental shift in the pursuit of new friendships. If she's making new friends or finding new hobbies that don't involve you, it could mean she wants to find her own identity outside of the relationship. Less availability. If she can't keep plans or is always too busy, it could mean that she no longer values the relationship. Celebrations or birthdays. Having fun. Relationship milestones are a chance to reflect on your blessings and celebrate your accomplishments. If she's pulling away, you may notice that she's not interested in celebrating. She may not want to celebrate anniversaries, birthdays, or other events you used to treasure. This could manifest as her not planning anything special or her downplaying the importance of these days. If she avoids talking about or making plans for future celebrations, it could mean she doesn't want to see a future with you. Ignoring a relationship. The key point is that relationships are not given enough recognition. When plans fall through, milestones can show that there isn't enough emotional connection and interest in the relationship. Figuring out why plans aren't going as planned can help. If clarity feels like the relationship isn't changing or growing, she may lose interest in making plans for the future and instead focus on her own growth. Avoidance of conflict. She might not plan to avoid discussing the relationship's future or her discomfort with the situation. Being unhappy with the relationship. If she feels unhappy or unfulfilled in the relationship, she may decide to withdraw and cease making plans. Happiness or thrill. Taking care of the disappearing plans. Seeing that plans change is a big part of figuring out where a relationship is going. Here are some things to think about. Start a conversation. Bring up future plans in a gentle way and tell her how you feel about the changes you've seen. Ask her how she feels about the relationship and if there are any worries she'd like to talk about. Suggest that you do new things together to get excited about making plans again. This can help bring the spark back and build a sense of teamwork. Be honest about your needs. You both agree that you want to be more involved in each other's lives and future plans. Third, make sure you both know what you want from the relationship going forward. 3.1. The first connection. Physical affection and mental closeness tend to grow in the early stages of a relationship. Partners often feel close when they share vulnerable, exciting, and connecting times. During this time, physical touch like holding hands, hugging, or cuddling is common and helps build emotional connection. Communication is usually open and frequent so both partners can say what they're thinking and feeling. 3.2. Signs of being physically apart. One of the most obvious changes when a woman stops caring about other people is her level of physical closeness. Here are some signs that she may be losing her physical affection. If she used to lean in to talk to you or initiate hugs and kisses, you may notice a significant change in her behavior toward you. If these actions suddenly cease, it can be unsettling. This withdrawal can lead to feelings of rejection, causing confusion, insecurity, and a decrease in shared time. A decrease in shared time is another effect of being far away. If she stops suggesting dates or spending more time alone or with friends, it could mean that her goals have changed. A desire for solitude or time away may have replaced plans for dates or activities. Changes in body language. Body language can say more than words. If she used to face you during conversations, maintain eye contact, or sit close to you, you might notice a change in her behavior. When people cross their arms, look away, or avoid eye contact, it's often a sign that they don't feel emotionally connected. Staying away from closeness. Physical and emotional closeness are both important parts of intimacy and romantic partnerships. If she actively avoids intense emotional or sexual times, it could mean that she's pulling away. Not wanting to be vulnerable can show a deeper emotional withdrawal. 3.3 Signs of mental distance along with physical distance. There are different ways that mental detachment can show up. We often need to engage in open conversation to foster emotional closeness. She may not feel safe or connected enough to fully participate if she stops telling you about her thoughts, feelings, and daily experiences. This can lead to a sense of isolation for both of you, as partners tend to avoid showing vulnerability. Being open about your fears, hopes, and dreams is a key part of emotional connection. If she used to share but now guards these things, she may be emotionally distant. She may no longer feel safe opening up, which means you don't share as many emotional experiences. As emotional distance grows, misunderstandings and tension may rise. Small disagreements can turn into bigger fights, often caused by frustration and a desire to connect. Instead of working through problems together, you may find that she is more dismissive or critical, which can create a negative cycle in the relationship. Priority list. If she begins to place more importance on her life outside of the relationship, such as her work friends or personal hobbies, than the time you spend together, it could indicate a lack of emotional investment in her. Personal growth and independence are good, though. A significant mismatch may lead SU to claim that her focus is no longer on the relationship. 3.4. Dealing with mental and physical distance. Recognizing the indications of mental and physical distance is the initial step towards resolving any issues within the relationship. Here are some ways to get through this tough time. Talk to each other. Start a discussion about what you've seen. Talk to her with care and understanding, letting her know how you feel without blaming her, and encouraging her to share her thoughts and feelings so that both of you can learn. Being clear about the state of the relationship helps build closeness. Focus on rekindling both physical and mental intimacy. Plan activities that will help you connect, like date nights, hobbies you both enjoy, or deep conversations. It can also help to close the gap by bringing back loving touches. Get help from a professional. If the distance is too much or too difficult to handle, you might want to look into couples treatment. A trained professional can help you communicate better, help both partners understand each other better by giving each other space when they need it. It's important to talk about distance, but it's also important to give each other space to think and process their feelings. It can be helpful to accept her need for space, but you should also try to connect with her. Number 4. She doesn't show jealousy or worry anymore. 4.1. What role do anger and care play in relationships? In a healthy relationship, jealousy and worry are normal feelings, but too much jealousy is unhealthy. A moderate amount can show that you care and are investing. This can make jealous people more open about their wants and feelings because they fear losing their partner. Concern, on the other hand, shows how emotionally invested a partner is in you. When someone cares about you, they will likely show love through their words and actions, be interested in your well-being, and help you through challenging times. 4.2 signs indicate that your worry and jealousy are diminishing. You can tell when a woman is mentally over a relationship by the following signs. A big drop in interest in your life and questions about your daily activities or relationships can be signs of mental distance. If she stops inquiring about your work, friends, or experiences, it could indicate a decrease in her interest in you. Engaged partners typically inquire about your life, so a sudden lack of interest in social activities can be unsettling. If she ever told you she didn't like seeing you hang out with other women or was worried about your friendships, a quick lack of jealousy can be a sign of a loss of emotional attachment. This change can be concerning as it suggests she might not be invested in maintaining the relationship. When someone cares about you emotionally, they often show concern for your feelings, health, and general well-being. If she stops asking how you're doing, or doesn't seem to care about your problems or stresses, it may mean that she's no longer emotionally invested in you. She may no longer be an ally in the relationship. Not taking relationship problems seriously. Lack of concern can also show in how she handles disagreements or problems in the relationship. If she ceases discussing issues or shows no interest in resolving them, it could indicate a mental breakdown. An emotionally detached partner doesn't want to deal with problems, but an engaged partner does. May stay away from them completely. 4.3 Coping with the reduction in worry and jealousy. It can be painful to see a drop in jealousy and worry, but it's important to approach the situation with understanding and empathy. Here are some ways to get through this tough time. Start a conversation. Start a conversation about your observations and feelings. Make a safe place for her to talk about her worries and thoughts. Ask her open-ended questions to get her to talk about how she feels without worrying about what other people will think. Think about how relationships work. Think about the dynamics of your relationship. Are there patterns of behavior that may have caused her to emotionally separate herself? Reflecting on your relationships can assist you in identifying areas for improvement. Encourage better communication by focusing on reconnecting with others. Reignite plan activities that foster emotional intimacy, such as engaging in hobbies, scheduling dates, and prioritizing quality time, to reignite the spark. Rebuilding the emotional link may help her feel like she has a stake in the relationship again. Set limits if needed. If her lack of interest in you keeps getting in the way of your health, you may need to set limits. Take care of yourself first and think about whether the relationship is meeting your wants. Taking a step back can give both partners a chance to think about how they feel and what they want. The importance of collaborating ultimately contributes to a healthy relationship. A successful relationship requires both partners' participation. While identifying signs of emotional detachment can be challenging, promptly addressing these issues can enhance mutual understanding and foster growth. Accept that you are weak. Being open and vulnerable is an important part of mental connection. Encourage open talks about your thoughts, fears, and wants. When both partners feel safe enough to say what they want, it leads to a deeper connection. Music. Work on your bond. Active hearing means paying full attention to your partner when they talk, showing that you understand and care about what they are saying. This can help both partners feel safe. Feel their emotions without fear of judgment. Invest in your own growth. Personal growth can have a beneficial effect on the relationship. Encourage each other to explore their own hobbies, interests, and goals. When both partners grow as people, it can make the relationship healthier and more satisfying. Changeable, enjoy the progress. 5. Recognize and enjoy small wins in the relationship. For example, recognizing efforts to reconnect and engage with each other can reinforce positive behavior and strengthen the bond. Criticizing or getting angry more. In a healthy relationship, you should be able to spot the change in behavior. Partners usually talk to each other freely and give each other constructive feedback and support. However, if a woman begins to criticize or annoy her partner more, it could indicate that she is emotionally withdrawing from this change. Greater relationship problems such as anger, dissatisfaction, or unresolved arguments often trigger behavior. Picking faults and small issues. If a woman starts to criticize every little thing you do or how you behave, It could mean she no longer cares about the relationship. Criticism may include comments about your appearance, actions, or attitude. For instance, she might abruptly express her disapproval of your attire, your food choices, or your approach to certain tasks. Emotional detachment. This critical behavior is often a sign of emotional detachment. She may be angry or let down by failed expectations, which makes her criticize everyone all the time, instead of dealing with the real problems. Straight, common arguments. If you notice that small disagreements are turning into fights all the time, it could mean that she is emotionally unavailable. What used to be a supportive and cooperative conversation may now feel hostile. This could be because she is frustrated with the relationship and is projecting her anger onto you, making it easier to fight about small things instead of dealing with the bigger problems between you. She may become agitated and exhibit a short fuse. If a woman isn't emotionally involved in the relationship anymore, she might lose her temper and be more irritable. You may notice that she loses her cool more quickly and gets frustrated over things that didn't bother her before external stresses. Keep in mind that external factors can also trigger these reactions. Behavior, stress from work, family, or other responsibilities can make her more irritable, causing outbursts that don't make sense for the situation. If this pattern persists and primarily targets you, it indicates underlying issues within the relationship. A negative mood. Ignoring your feelings and worries can be accompanied by a stronger critical tone. If she doesn't seem to care about or be interested in how you feel, it could mean that she's mentally pulling away. This lack of empathy can be especially hurtful if your partner used to support and understand you. If your partner brushes off your feelings or concerns, it can cause a breakdown in communication and trust. Increasing criticism and irritability can have a big effect on a relationship. It can create a cycle of negativity where both partners feel attacked, unheard, and unappreciated. Constant criticism can break down trust and make one partner feel unsafe in the relationship. If one partner feels judged all the time, they may become defensive, which can lead to more misunderstandings and fights. Having mental exhaustion. Being in a relationship where one person is constantly critical and angry can be mentally draining. One partner might constantly feel pressured to avoid provoking their partner's ire. Getting away over time. At least one partner. If the woman experiences criticism and lack of support, she may mentally withdraw from the relationship. She may cease discussing her emotions and thoughts, thereby intensifying her sense of isolation and disconnection. Taking care of the problems. If you see these patterns in your relationship, it's important to talk about them freely and honestly. Ignoring or downplaying the behavior won't make it go away. In fact, it may make things worse. Start a calm talk. Find a suitable time to talk to her about what you've noticed. Communicate your feelings with kindness and honesty, avoiding accusation. For example, you could say, "I've noticed that we've been arguing more often lately and I'm worried about our relationship." Encourage open communication. Encourage her to talk about how she feels and what's bothering her. Make sure she has a safe space where she can express her feelings without fear of judgment. Try to see things from her point of view and ask her questions to do so. What is really bugging her? Is there a specific thing that she doesn't like about the way things are? Talk about ways to make the connection better as a group. Establish shared objectives to enhance communication and address any unresolved issues. Number 6. She's focused on her independence, and noticing the shift toward independence is another important sign that a woman may be mentally done with a relationship. Increasing her focus on independence is beneficial in any relationship, but it could also indicate that she has reached her limit in personal growth. When someone suddenly starts putting her own interests and goals ahead of the relationship, it can be problematic. If she starts to spend more time on her job, hobbies, or personal projects, it could mean that she is looking for happiness outside of the relationship. For example, she might take on more responsibility at work, join a gym, or become deeply involved in creative pursuits. Changing our goals. This sudden focus on independence may be due to her desire to change her priorities. As she becomes more independent, She may find that she doesn't need the relationship as much for emotional support, which could cause her to pull away from her partner and make new friends. A woman who wants to be independent may also start making new friends in social circles where you are not present. She may begin to spend more time with friends or attend social events without asking you to accompany her, as a means of seeking emotional support. Making new friends can help her get mental support outside of the relationship. She can turn to her friends for support and a connection if she feels unmet in the relationship. Setting limits. As she regains her independence, she may start to set clearer limits. While healthy limits are important in any relationship, if they seem to limit your participation in life or take away from the shared experiences you used to enjoy, it could mean that she wants to keep her distance. It's beneficial to have your own interests, but it's also important to find a mix between being independent and being with other people. It's just as important to keep a feeling of partnership and shared experiences. Reduce the amount of time you spend discussing your shared interests. If she used to get excited about sharing experiences or making plans with you, but now appears disinterested in joint activities, it could indicate a shift in her goals. More attention to each person. If a woman is moving toward independence, she might show less excitement about shared interests. For example, she might turn down date night offers or stop talking about future plans that involve both partners. This could have a negative effect on the relationship. A growing focus on independence can have serious effects, often leaving one partner in a relationship feeling neglected, abandoned, and unimportant. If one partner prioritizes independence over their partner, they may feel unimportant and rejected. One partner may start to feel sidelined and question their value in the relationship, leading to more and more loneliness. This emotional isolation can lead to resentment and frustration, making the problems even worse. One partner becoming more focused on their own can lead to a loss of closeness. Seeking the connection between the two can weaken the shared experiences and memories that once brought them together, leading to a sense of disconnection. Taking care of the problems. If you notice your partner becoming more independent, talk to them. Open communication is key to making sure that both partners feel valued and linked. Take note of the change. Start by noticing changes in her behavior. Approach the conversation with concern instead of accusation. For example, "I've noticed you've been spending a lot of time on your own interests lately. I want to make sure you're okay." This will start a conversation that will lead to a resolution. Ask her to talk about how she feels about being independent. Is she looking for happiness outside of the relationship? What does her freedom mean to her? This can help you understand how she thinks. Talk about common goals. Look for ways to balance being alone with being with others. Talk about common interests and goals that you can both work toward while still letting each other grow. This can help strengthen the partnership side of the relationship and give you both time to spend together. Spend quality time with your partner doing things you both enjoy. Strengthening your bond through shared experiences can help close the gap that growing independence can cause.